Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a trip somewhere pretty amazing. Inside your own body, actually. We're going to witness the incredible engineering behind just a single heartbeat. So what does that actually look like from the inside? Well, let's find out. We're going to start our journey way out in the vast network of blood vessels, then zoom into the engine itself, and finally, we'll look at the invisible spark that tells it all what to do. Okay, first stop, the body's highway system. You can really think of the entire circulatory system as this huge closed delivery network. It starts at the heart and it ends at the heart. It's just this one massive continuous loop that's always carrying the important stuff. And just like a real highway, these blood vessels are built in layers. First up, you've got the tunica intima. That's the super smooth inner lining, right? It's like the perfect pavement that lets blood just glide by without any friction. Then in the middle, you have the tunica media. This is the muscular part, the part that can actually squeeze or relax to control the flow, kind of like managing traffic. And then wrapping the whole thing up is the tunica adventitia, which is this tough protective outer layer that basically anchors the vessel right where it needs to meet. All right, so let's zoom in a bit. We're going to focus on one specific part of this highway system, the big-time high-pressure arteries. These are the main roads carrying blood away from the heart. So right up close to the heart, you've got what are called elastic arteries. Think of the aorta, the biggest one of all. These things are the ultimate shock absorbers. Their walls are just packed with elastic fibers, which lets them balloon out every time the heart pumps with that powerful surge of blood, and then they just snap right back. That recoil is what keeps the blood moving forward nice and smoothly. Okay, so as you get further away from the heart, the structure changes a bit. The muscular arteries and the really tiny arterioles take over. Now, these guys have a lot more smooth muscle. They act like traffic controllers, right? They can constrict or dilate to send blood exactly where it needs to go. And this is a really crucial point because they create so much resistance. This is where you see the biggest, most significant drop in blood pressure. So we've seen how the pipes, the arteries, handle all that pressure. But where does the pressure even come from in the first place? Well, now we've arrived at the central hub, the heart itself. And we're looking at its power phase, the big squeeze, which is called systole. It all kicks off with this moment of just pure power. The main pumping chambers, the ventricles, they start to squeeze. This phase is called isovolumic contraction. And that word isovolumic is so important here, because it literally means same volume. Just look at what's happening here. The entrance valve is shut, the exit valve is shut, everything is sealed tight. As that heart muscle squeezes, the pressure, that red line on the graph, it just skyrockets. But, and this is the crazy part, the blood has nowhere to go. So the volume, that light blue line, stays completely flat. The heart is building up this immense pressure in a totally sealed chamber. It's like pulling back a catapult just before you let it fly. Okay, so once that pressure inside the ventricle gets high enough, higher than the pressure in the aorta, bam, the exit valves are just forced open and the power stroke really truly begins. And here's the payoff. The aortic valve flies open and blood is just powerfully ejected out into the body. You can see it on the graph. The ventricular volume, that light blue line, just plummets as the chamber empties out. And at the exact same time, the pressure hits its absolute peak. And by the way, that peak? That's your systolic blood pressure. That's the number they're measuring. All right, after every massive contraction, you need a reset, right? A critical moment of relaxation. So now let's check out diastole, the relaxation phase, and see how the heart gets ready for the very next beat. So right after that huge ejection of blood, the exit valves snap shut again, and now the ventricles start to relax. This is basically the mirror image of what we just saw. It's a phase called isovolumic relaxation. And look, once again, all the valves are closed. That means we're isovolumic, same volume. As the heart muscle on the left relaxes, watch that red line on the graph. The pressure inside just collapses. It drops like a rock. And all the while, that little bit of blood that's left inside, its volume isn't changing one bit. So once the pressure inside those relaxing ventricles gets super low, the inlet valves from the upper chambers, the atria, they just swing open. And the heart starts to fill back up with blood for the next round. And it does it pretty much passively. Yeah, this is a great visual for it. Most of the heart's filling is totally passive, no squeezing needed at all. It's really just like pouring water into an empty bottle.
See, blood has been collecting in those upper chambers, the atria, and now it just flows right down into the low-pressure ventricles. You can see the volume, that light blue line, just climbing super fast, getting everything primed and ready for the next cycle to kick off.
Okay, so we've seen this incredible mechanical pump in action. It's amazing. But what's actually telling it what to do? What's giving the orders? Well, now we get to uncover the invisible control system, the electrical signals that we can actually see and read on an ECG. Right, so an electrocardiogram, an ECG, it's nothing more than a picture of these electrical commands. And each little bump and spike corresponds directly to a physical action. That little P wave at the start, that's the atria contracting. That big, sharp QRS complex, that's the signal for the powerful ventricles to squeeze. And that final T wave, that's the signal for the ventricles to reset for the next beat. So this is the connection you really need to make. When you see that sharp, spiky QRS complex on an ECG, that is the exact electrical spark that triggers the huge, forceful muscle contraction we saw back in systole. It's cause and effect. One is the command, the other is the action.
And what about that gentle rolling T wave that comes after? Well, that's the electrical signal for the ventricles to stand down. It's telling them to repolarize, which is basically just a fancy word for electrically resetting and recharging. And as you can see, it is perfectly timed with the physical relaxation of the heart muscle during diastole. The electricity is the conductor, telling the muscle orchestra precisely what to do and exactly when to do it.
So there you have it. In less than a second, the time it takes for one beat, we've journeyed all the way from the three-layer structure of our blood vessels, through the incredible mechanics of the pump itself, and finally to the invisible electrical signal that makes the whole thing possible. It's a perfect loop. I mean, it is just a system of breathtaking complexity, and it works flawlessly, second after second, for our entire lives. Think about it. This system beats over 35 million times a year, all perfectly synchronized. When you see this incredible piece of natural engineering up close, what does it make you think about?